Alright, so let's go ahead and make sure that you have this sheet out from yesterday, solving systems with elimination. We did these notes yesterday and we did these two problems right here, and then we worked through these rest of these 6 problems right here. I do want to apologize. Number 7 right here, I'll just cross that one off because it's not going to give you a nice neat answer. The decimal is actually a repeating decimal, so if you didn't get that one done or you got stuck on it, please just skip that one. But on the back side, we want to talk about a new rule. And the new rule is if there isn't a variable that has the same coefficient, then you multiply one or both equations by some number to make that variable have the same coefficient. So in other words, in this case right here, we've got the 4 and the 1, or negative 4 and positive 1 that we have for the x. They're not the same coefficient, so we can't just simply add this together and get rid of it. Negative 20 and 1, we can't just simply add that together and get rid of it. So we need to get one of these two to be the same, either negative 4 and negative 4 here, or negative 20 and negative 20 here. I always go with whatever I can multiply by that's the smallest number. So if I multiply this bottom one right here by 4, and if I do that, I've got to multiply the whole thing by 4, all 3 of these, the x, the y, and the constant, by 4. Then our x values will be the same, and then we can do our elimination. So negative 4x, I'll multiply these out of. Negative 4x, 4 times y is plus 4y, and 4 times 0 is 0. Now I'm going to bring this other equation right here down below it so that we can actually set them up. So negative 4x minus 20y equals 0. Draw a line underneath it. Remember our rules. We have the x's are the same coefficient with 4, and they're the same sign. Same sign means we subtract, and you've got to subtract all 3 of these. So negative 4 minus negative 4 is 0. 4 minus negative 20 is actually 24y. 0 minus 0 equals 0. Divide both sides by 24, and we get y equals 0. Now we take that 0 and we plug it back in for y into one of these 2 equations up here. I always try to take the easiest one, so I will take, let's take the bottom one. So I'm going to take negative x plus, not y, but 0, put it in parentheses so you know that I substituted it in, equals 0. I can just cross out the 0, and negative x equals 0. If I think of that as a negative 1, I could divide by negative 1 if I can't see the answer already, and then I get x equals 0. Right? So my solution here is 0, 0. Again, same numbers, not always the same number. So let's try another one. All right. So if I go over to number 13, there's also a note at the top of number 13 that talks about if both of the variables are eliminated, and you just get the numbers. If they're the same number equal to each other, for example, if it is 5 equals 5. Or 0 equals 0, then that would be infinitely many solutions. Any number works, right? In this case up here, if you were to get like 2 equals 3, that would be, does not equal, so that would be no solution. Nothing you could do would make that correct. Okay? Let's go ahead and do number 13 though, okay? 2x and x doesn't, not the same. 3y and y, not the same. So we need to multiply. We could multiply this bottom one by either 2 to get the x's to match up, or we could multiply it by 3 to get the y's to match up. Usually I like to go by the smaller number. In this case though, I want to multiply this one by 3 because I want to do one where the y's match up, because we just did one where the x's. So let's multiply this out. And the only reason I pick the smaller number usually is because it usually just makes it a little bit easier for us. But 2 and 3 are so close, it's not really a big deal. So 3 times x is 3x, 3 times y is 3y, and 3 times -1 is -3, right? Now I'll just bring this one right here down and put it below it. So I've got 2x plus 3y equals 0. Now I'm going to look at my variables that are the same, 3 and 3. They have the same sign, plus and plus. They're both positive. So then same sign means